Honestly, 99% of the anxiety and DPDR recovery advice that I see is just completely wrong. Or it's at least blown out of proportion how difficult it is to recover, in a sense that you need to change your whole life around and change your habits completely and change your personality and become a different version and all this stuff. It's just simply not true. And before I piss anybody off, I'm referring to anxiety-driven DPDR. I'm speaking about depersonalization and derealization as a symptom of anxiety. And like I say in many of my videos, recovery is extremely simple. It's not easy because it is a process, and it takes people a lot of time to sometimes understand what's happening, why it's happening, and how to respond correctly to your symptoms. But generally speaking, what it takes to recover is very simple. Overcomplicating the recovery process and making it out to be this big challenge that you have to reshape everything is just simply not true and not doing anybody any favors. Like, I mean it. I didn't change much about myself at all. I really did not. I did not reduce my screen time. I did not change, my caffeine habits. I didn't change anything, really. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't go have, 12 beers and get hammered and then, feel like crap the next morning intentionally, because that obviously would make me more anxious and just make things harder than it needs to be. And I wouldn't pound, like I used to drink a ton of pre-workout, and I would drink tons of Monster energy drinks, so I wouldn't drink, crazy amounts of caffeine like that anymore. But generally speaking, I really didn't change much outside of my normal behaviors. The only thing that I did change were things that I developed because of anxiety and depersonalization, derealization. I learned to stop ruminating and obsessing over my symptoms and constantly checking my internal state. I learned what anxiety and depersonalization actually are, and that they can't harm you, and it's a normal part of the human stress response. I changed behaviors related to reassurance seeking and things that I was doing that literally only started after I fell into the anxiety and DPDR cycle. So don't fall for the BS that you need to completely change yourself. All you really need to do is change your relationship with your symptoms, as well as the behaviors that are currently keeping you stuck, which like 99% of the time are behaviors that you developed after falling into anxiety and DPDR. Like I can guarantee you that you probably weren't binge watching, anxiety and DPDR recovery content when you didn't have anxiety and DPDR. You were probably just living life normally. Now, I promise you, you can get out of anxiety DPDR without uprooting your entire life and changing a million different things. And if you want some extra information on anxiety, DPDR, and nervous system sensitization, you can get my completely free DPDR Comm Kit by simply clicking the link on my profile.